Pick your hero. Or villain, I'm not judging.
The higher the pressure, the more dazzling the diamond.
Performance with Latinos back in 2024 was because the issue of the economy. They trusted Donald Trump by a 3-point margin against Kamala Harris. But look at his net approval rating on the economy now. Oh, yeah, Johnny B said it best over there. Look at that. Minus 46 points. That's, again, another near 50-point movement against the president.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
What do you think, Aurora? Do we go in full force, or stay under the radar?
Unlike you, my powers rarely allow me to go undetected, Susan.
Then we play to our strengths. I'll strike when they least expect it.
And I shall rip the heavens themselves asunder if need be.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
You don't have to be humble to be a hero. I'm not.
On your toes. Here they come.
I am the slicer of world! Anyone willing to help?
I suppose that helps.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. Capture the mission area!
This queen's reign isn't over.
Let's end this quick.
Mind crush! I suppose that helps.
Mental domination! A little help, please.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
I require Slade.
Mind crush! I was not, but thank you.
Careful, or we're gonna get it from behind.
They've almost got it!
Despite my name, I am no angel.
Clearly,
Hurricanes incoming!
I serve as queen of the 10th realm. Kneeling is acceptable. The hand of heaven is here. Show some respect.
The higher... When mutants are in danger, the White Queen answers.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
You shine like a diamond, but your soul is so empty.
Obviously, you've been speaking to my therapist, but I'm not sure that's relevant right now.
If we aren't strong within, even the toughest surface begins to show its cracks.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
I hope this is important. Reed and I had a date night planned.
Oh, man. Cable would totally hate that he's missing out on all the fun. Looks like we've got ourselves a party.
Extra power never hurt.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. They captured the mission area! And that's for being disarmingly. Shields up!
A little help, please.
Emma Frost never surrenders. Ah, look who's here.
Our team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
All they did was make me angrier.
Let's end this quick.
Oh boy.
Let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
This fight was
Well, you can't expect to win them all. Pick your hero. Or villain. I'm not judging.
The higher the pressure, the more dazzling the diamond. When mutants are in danger,
30
the
seconds
White
before you
Queen
attack.
answers.
Get ready.
Usually.
What are you gonna do, little fella? Kill him with cuteness? Never mind. Those fangs of yours will make Dracula himself jealous.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
And for once, I may actually...
Could I please just pay to win this one? I have the funds.
Those repairs are in order.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. The mission area is yours.
I was fine, but thank you. Can someone exterminate these robotic pests? Your mind is mine! Some uninvited guests. Mind crush! Mental domination!
You captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going. Control lost.
How embarrassing.
Mine's in place.
This queen's reign isn't over. Thank goodness someone finally silenced Wade's filthy mind. I was fine, but thank you. Shall I throw a gala in our honor?
Maximum pulse! Now I have suffered
You did your part, I suppose.
Glory's almost yours.
You gotta defend this spot! Because the game told you so.
Now let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
never miss!
All they did was make me angrier.
Control lost.
I should have just stayed on the Times Square map and practiced my emotes.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Mental domination! Can someone exterminate these robotic pests? I suppose that helped.
They've almost got it.
Mental domination!
Careful, or we're gonna get it from behind.
Supernova!
No more spiders to worry about.
We'll have to keep fighting until until we have a winner. Whoopsies!
I was fine, but thank you.
Missionary killer. That's a good thing,
Gone,
right?
and already forgotten. When mutants are in danger, the White Queen answers. Usually.
That's so fun to say.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Jeffy! I'm happy to see you too, you adorable little ball of murder! Daddy missed you. Mike, don't worry. You earned your place as the #1 breakout star. I won't steal it from you, but I may shoot for a closer.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Smartest thing Banner ever did was make Gamma Belt stretchy. Embrace perfection. I have suffered severe damage.
Here they come! Alright!
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. It's party time!
Exquisite! No, my baby!
Need some help.
I'm back. There's hellfire to pay.
Embrace perfection. This is
Defend
my
our
unnatural
territory.
selection.
Mental domination!
Ultra Ring Supreme.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
I was fine.
I am ready to put on a show.
Mind crush!
All these fighters can't reach it.
Mental domination is almost yours.
I'll tell you later. We're not teaming up again.
I suppose that helped.
Me now. Remember that.
Exquisite!
Another epic victory. Big win. Pick your hero. Or villain. I'm not judging.
The higher the pressure, the more dazzling the diamond. Are in danger. The white
30
queen
seconds before you
answers.
attack. Get ready.
Usually.
It's been way too long since we did the whole Agents of Atlas thing, Amy.
Almost all of my time has been devoted to running Tiger Division Sohi.
I get it. Too busy saving the world with your new crew to save the world with your old friends. It's all good.
No, it's not.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Yes, I'm a fox spirit. No, you cannot touch my tails.
Guess who just showed their stupid faces?
I was fine. Thank you.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
You did your part, I suppose.
Mind crush! The mission area is yours!
Sorry.
Impervious!
Found one of our targets. Watching this spot might be smart.
Some uninvited. I was fine. Thank you.
It's fun!
Light in the darkness.
Need some help.
Director's injured! Make it! You captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going! Hostile actions! Team strike! Mission!
Hey, thanks.
This art looks priceless. I must have it.
I like the cold. I don't have to
Moonlight's Ankh. I was fine, but thank you.
Someone's in my head! Listen to the voice in your head and protect this.
The area is almost yours!
Another move and a punch.
Another hit for the
Damage sustained. You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
You were beneath me. I was fine, but thank you. The only thing stronger than my skin is my mind.
Seconds before you attack. Get ready.
You can't handle the cute! Oh, hell yeah! I am so glad that you're on my team.
Wow, I didn't expect that from you. Any particular reason why?
Well, word on the street is that you never get nerfed. So this should be easy.
I Don't know what that means, but everything should be chill. I hope.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
It's every hero for themselves where I'm from.
See them? Right there. I'm hit! Cover me! Call me Monday!
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Dragon Only!
Exquisite!
The mission area is yours.
Did you even train for this?
You wish you were this cool.
Team strike! Efficient!
I suppose that helped.
I found a foe.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
She strikes true, Lilia!
Maximum pulse!
Damage sustained! Need assistance!
Khonshu has his eye on you.
I
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
The area's almost yours.
All they did was make me angrier.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Give it never fall! Leave them to Khonshu!
for an encore. We're finding our groove.
Not one of our targets. Far from legendary.
Another epic victory! Big win! You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
The higher the pressure, the more dazzling the diamond.
seconds before you attack. Get ready.
A giant beast stomping down the streets of Tokyo? I think I've seen this film before. Want to know a secret? I always rooted for the Coca-Dream.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1!
Found it!
Strange opened the portal. We don't have numbers. I was an ordinary girl until my soul got.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
That was fun.
We did it perfectly. Looks like fun times.
Gambit got your back.
I was fine.
Way more than I should have.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Come around, they sneaking up on us. Hey, hitting real hard. Do this. Let's not keep the weave away from
I was fine. Good thing.
Almost there. Don't turn back now. Double KO.
I will have my revenge for that.
Just who Gambit was looking for.
Get that vehicle moving again.
Head steak! Who's the man? I am.
Just kills the
My
cross.
guard's down.
Why have you stopped, Zero?
Keep pushing forward for the rift. Looks like fun times.
Oh, sweet moves, right?
The vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Got your back.
Want to watch out over here.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about that rift soon. Hopefully, while we still exist.
Pay those fools no mind, Spider Zero. They cannot stop us.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Limo stands with you!
Almost there. Don't turn back now.
I'm being controlled? How?
Nice.
Double
This
KO.
Queen's reign isn't over.
Get that vehicle moving again.
Gambit got your back.
If this is how the universe ends, I shall go down fighting.
It's clobbering time!
Neo! Listen! Steel renewed! Neo! Listen!
Double KO!
You will not be rid of me so easily. Sacred shield!
Get that vehicle moving again!
On your six!
Too late to turn back now, Zero.
Dawn's living up to her name.
Sacred steel! Coming in fast! Sacred steel!
Down, here we come.
I totally rocked that.
Only 60 seconds left.
I took great pleasure in striking you down.
Coming at you. Lucky draw.
Mother Fury!
Down to 30 seconds.
We need to finish them off now! We're headed straight for the rift. Times.
Loser.
The vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
I feel renewed!
I'm an easy target.
Heaven! Fall! Blessed blade! Mother Fury!
My guard's down.
Hostiles coming fast! We're headed straight for the rift.
That's it! Don't let anything stand in your way.
Sacred steel!
So close! This is your big chance! Only 60 seconds left.
Dawn's living up to her name.
ostracizing being a child rapist.
Needed executive agency to synchronize bilateral defense technology efforts. That official will be tasked with identifying Israeli origin technologies that could be incorporated into U.S. programs of record, facilitating their transition from research projects into actual procurement pipelines, and promoting industrial partnerships and co-production arrangements between American and Israeli firms. In other words, Congress is not merely encouraging cooperation, it's directing the Pentagon to actively search for Israeli technologies that could become part of the future U.S. military. And you paint a portrait of this integration, making it very difficult if you had a future president who had a different view of the U.S.-Israel relationship to unwind this relationship and also make it very different.
To where? Good question. Who the fuck cares? This space.
For a future Congress that may have other ideas to step back from what we are doing with regard to Israel without hurting our own national security.
That's 100% correct. And, you know, this is sort of quietly being admitted now, but it's an implied admission by our DC elites, both parties, that the U.S. defense industrial base, despite possibly getting $1.5 trillion next year, can't produce advanced technology reliably on its own. So now it's having to pivot and go to, other countries and say, hey, we need your stuff. So that's also sort of a subtext here, which is the significant crisis. But the whole thing here with Israel, but do not share our exact values or strategic outlook at the level that we currently are. This is a tighter relationship if the bill passes as it's written. This will become a tighter relationship and even a special relationship between the United States and the United Kingdom, including the U.S. and NATO's relationship.
Yep.
And we saw with Jonathan Pollard in the 80s, the Israelis will deploy spies or use spies to steal our stuff and then sell it to the highest bidder for their own purposes, throwing us under the bus. Imagine what they're going to be able to do with access to our most advanced quantum computing, biotech, etc. research.
Yeah, and let's go start actually with the D1, guys. I'll read from some of this. So this is a field report from Lebanon. There is a growing debate over the military significance of Beaufort Castle, which observers are saying after 15 months of war, Israeli forces reached a symbolic historical site less than 4 kilometers from the border. Rather than capturing a key resistance stronghold, they contend the castle's value is primarily media and psychological, not operational. Brandon, do you want to break some of this down? A castle which literally dates back to, what is the first? I'm going to get my Crusades mixed up. It's one of the Crusades, but
First Crusade.
Okay, so the castle goes to the First Crusade, clearly of significance to say we basically are the conquering heroes, the party, and it's a message to the world about this messianic.
Okay, members, hell yeah.
That's exactly right. And whenever armies start engaging in symbolic, ideological sort of sideshows, which is what this is.
Been waiting for the booty shorts, but I don't think we're ever going to get them. Dude, we went through on Shopify. They don't have booty shorts that you can create. Probably they do, but they would be so wildly fucking expensive that nobody would be purchasing them. That no one would charge you guys $50 for a pair of booty shorts. But I will last Ubby again, and I just want you guys to understand, I do not control the merch sales. I don't control the art that goes in the merch. I have artists, like a fucking cat, go through it. But I'm just the talent.
The invading army. So this does look to me like the Israelis are saying, we're not going anywhere. In fact, we're going to expand our footprint. In fact, they're moving beyond the Litani River at great cost to themselves. They had the IDF chief of staff twice now come out in the last 4 weeks saying if we keep going at this operational tempo, the IDF will be broken in southern Lebanon. It can't stay consistent. It can't keep consistent. Upwards of 60 to 70 because they keep sending these things down the gut, and the President just keeps popping off, like tanks. So you see the IDF making pretty silly mistakes that we saw two recent mistakes now that are repeating what's happening in Ukraine. This is not, A, going to end well for them, but B, it certainly means the Israelis are expanding their footprint. You're tethered to that now, and the question is, are we going to go further and now enmesh our technology base with whatever the heck they're planning to do?
Yeah. Brandon, talk a little bit about what both Ukraine war and Iran's successful ability to repel our attacks has just damaged our bases across the region, and now successfully using these fiber optic drones has really been able to attack a lot of damage on Israel. I mean, there is an article right now in Haaretz that says manufactured cells for Lebanon's future tests a strategic failure. I mean, they are taking a lot of what they're not been able to achieve what they wanted to achieve. Putting all these things together, what does this tell you about the reality of modern warfare?
It shows us that our strategic rivals, Iran, Russia, China, I'm just using that term kind of, the point is, strategic rivals have leapfrogged the U.S. military and the militaries of our allies get these denial technologies. They figured out the way you stop American and allied power projection from their parts of the world is with lots of cheap drones, missiles, and even sometimes hypersonic weapons, which is a technology we have not yet fully developed or have $50. Yes. And as you brought up the Ukraine and Iran wars together, this is sort of their...
Bro, there is no defense against a hypersonic missile. I mean, good fucking luck. Good fucking luck shooting down a hypersonic missile when it's in the fucking name. It's hypersonic.
In my opinion, if you look at the southern end of Russian saga, and you look at the northern end of Iran, there is only a 621-mile gap between those two fronts. So, if things continue as I suspect they will, I do not believe there will be any deal with war. If things continue, you could see the ultimate coming together of those two conflicts in a true war. That's what I would expect. Frankly, our rivals in their machine, $1.5 trillion. What's it getting us? One strategic.
It is great. And, actually, let's not leave it address. So I recently CSIS chart. But I'll describe it to you.
Well, we talked about
I was ridiculed for saying...
We're pretty much out of ammo. We're literally out of ammo.
I said it will take 5 years to replace 39 days of munitions used in Iran. It's called Liar, American Decliner, apparently. Yep. All I did was post
Ryan
the chart.
After you. I saw that. He went after me too, Eric.
Okay, so let's get into it. All I did was post the chart, which said estimated return to pre-war. That's it. Where is that? It's late 2020. We just referenced our timeline of the industrial base from $1.5 trillion. Why does it make it so vulnerable studying of the Iran conflict and of Ukraine whenever we have timelines like that? Or are the timelines fake, as he's saying?
No, I don't think the timelines are fake. I know that's what the Hawks are saying. About a month ago, I was at an undisclosed military facility in Georgia.
I think it was $5. I think it was $2.
3 Hawks versus me.
That's right.
The entire time strafing me. But ultimately, they couldn't answer the basic fact. If there's this secret supply somewhere, why haven't we seen it yet? And of course, the answer is there's no secret supply. And actually, my newest article on my Substack actually took part of what you said with screenshots. Because Ryan McNabb also went after me, apparently. The bottom line here is this is math. Okay, math is like rap.
I think it was $5. Congrats to the growth below you. So proud. Keep your balls tight. Here's another 6 months overtime for the end of the truth. Thanks, man. I will keep my balls tight.
You're sitting for so long. And the bottom line is, it may take 30 days to assemble a single Tomahawk cruise missile. This isn't like an IKEA, piece of furniture. This is a highly complex system. If you have bottlenecks in the underlying supply chains, the rocket boat, the rocket fuel, their version of those that you can control. 30 days to like extend regardless of the bottleneck lasts. So I actually said, Doctor, hey, I want to come up with this one. This might take more than 6 years and 7 years, especially if current operation basis increases in the defense industrial base. 14 key weapon systems, precision munitions like tomahawk.
Essentially, Trump's war in Iran has done so much damage that the United States of America cannot recover until at least the year 2040. That's absolute mind-boggling. Any message piled of Russian watches to give it time? Okay, how about this? How can people like me and Kyle continue to advocate for Democrat politicians when the literal House leader, when Chuck Schumer, is standing shoulder to shoulder with Israeli terrorists and saying in Israel...
Living space. We offer the Nora twin bunk bed for just $820, so you can upgrade your kitchen at a great price. We developed
And Israel Day Parade, I think, is the #1 example of that. But you can find a way to reword that however you need. Thank you.
And also these air defense interceptors, those 14 munitions, they can't keep up with. They're depleting faster than they can replace. And at some point, we're going to have to switch munitions. And I think, actually, that is informing Trump's ceasefire right now, is that he's trying to buy time for a little bit more of these systems to be built. I don't think this is a real ceasefire.
Can you talk a little bit more about that? Because you did mention earlier you don't think that we are likely to see a deal.
Yeah, well, there's no stasis in the argument between Iran and the United States. I mean, the fundamental issue is there's no way Iran is giving up control over the Strait of Hormuz, not without them getting, those transit fees and service fees, which is similar to what Turkey does, by the way, the Turkish straits, but that's another issue. There's no way. And then also this nuclear dust, less than dust. The bottom line with that is Iranians have just proven, even by just threatening to have nuclear weapons, they can break the back and the will of the U.S. and Israeli joint forces. We've fought them for 4 months almost now, sitting still, and the Iranian regime is still the Iranian regime. And we are the ones steeping the nations to all of their pressure. But they're not going to stop because they don't have to stop. So I think what Trump is doing is he's trying to farm the markets. They need a ceasefire, but even if it's a ceasefire, that's only a 60-day memorandum. What happens on day 61? Because you're told that the president is insisting on day 61 meets with the Iranians and finally comes out. Why would the Iranians give up the nuclear dust? They wouldn't. It's too much of an advantage for them. Second of all, in this proposed deal, 60-day moratorium, the Iranians have 40 days to get out of right out of control of the Strait of Hormuz. What makes anybody think that the Iranians are just going to slow down their control until they take care of it? So they're going to 30 days. Iranian blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. This is not going well. And so there's no incentive. And frankly, Trump cannot obviously negotiate for 2 reasons. If he's going to look weak, look like he lost, and the Israeli factor. Netanyahu can't afford to have the war end. So we are just in a pause until some greater position can be had.
This war is genuinely, I'm not kidding, we're going to be fighting for years, bro. The Strait of Hormuz may never reopen again. I'm not even joking about that. I'm trying to consider the reality that, the Iranian war might wage for fucking years. It might wage for years. We might never, and I do mean that, we might never see the price of gasoline go back down for the rest of your life. It might just slowly keep on going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. I actually think that there's no way out of it. Literally, no way out of it. The only way out is to accept defeat. But the United States government will never accept defeat.
We'll just be in a permanent frozen conflict. Again, Strait of Hormuz remains closed, the economy collapses, and that.
What a disaster. Everybody go subscribe to Brandon's Substack as he just saw excellent analysis.
And if I could just say as well, Brandon is on the right. He's taken a lot of professional risk to tell the truth about this war. So please, guys, consider going and supporting his Substack. Yeah, he does great work, and he also really deserves and earns your
genuine personal sacrifice, which is rare for somebody who actually just wants to say. support you. So we support you 100%. We hope everybody else will as well. We see you later, dude.
Incredible. Ball breaking. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna end the stream there. Right there. You guys feel a little bit smarter than when you hopped in? You guys feel a little bit more updated? A little bit more informed than when you joined? That's all you do. That's the goal. That's the goal. Alright guys, have a good one. Hasta bye-bye. Hasta bye-bye. Hasta bye-bye.
You're in the lead now. Try to make it last. Hey! They come from behind. You can still turn this around. You're in the lead now. Try to make it last.
This fight was never yours.
Emma Frost never sleeps.
So let's do it.
A little extra power never hurt.
Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Vice President J.D. Vance says the U.S. is very close to a memorandum of understanding with Iran that would see both sides cease fire for 60 days while talks over Iran's nuclear program continue. Vance said the emerging agreement would also reopen the Strait of Hormuz to commercial traffic, with Iran given 30 days to remove all sea mines. President Trump has yet to give this final approval, and Iran's Tasnim news agency reports that work has not yet been finalized or confirmed. This comes as the New York Times reports the White House has been quietly working with Gulf Arab states to develop alternative financing mechanisms to pay for Iran's post-war reconstruction, including unfreezing Iranian funds held in Qatar. On Thursday, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent downplayed President Trump's threat to blow up Oman, a U.S. ally, during a cabinet meeting a day earlier.
The West Wing making plans for a new war with Oman. Again, I think the president wanted to punctuate freedom of navigation in the strait. I had a call with the Omani ambassador this morning, and he assured me that there were no plans for tolling the strait.
Palestinians are bracing for a worsening humanitarian catastrophe in the Gaza Strip after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered his army to seize 70% of the besieged territory. Already, Israel controls about 11% more of Gaza's land than it agreed to under a U.S.-brokered so-called ceasefire deal it signed last October. Netanyahu's latest plan would push Israel's line of control further beyond the so-called yellow line, leaving even less land for Gaza's more than 2 million Palestinians. His comments came one day after Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz said his government would implement a plan to remove large numbers of Palestinians from Gaza under what he called a voluntary immigration scheme. Israel intensified its assault on Lebanon Thursday, bombing Beirut for the first time in 3 weeks, even as Israeli ground forces pushed deeper into southern Lebanon and issued new forced displacement orders for residents. The United Nations reports 15 children are among those killed by Israeli strikes on Lebanon over the past week. 62 children have been wounded in the attacks, which continue despite the U.S.-brokered so-called ceasefire agreement with Israel signed with Lebanon in April.
In this life, there will get in your way for yourself. And there are few people who embody that more than the subject of today's reaction, Terrence Howard. Now, Terrence Howard is a fairly accomplished actor. I would say his most prominent role would, of course, be when he played alongside Robert Downey Jr. in the first Iron Man movie. He was actually seen as probably the bigger star. He would go on to apparently be incredibly difficult to work with. Well, anyway, I didn't really see much of Terrence Howard for a while. That was, of course, until this man decided to avoid Poncho. And in so doing, he put forth some of the most idiotic and ridiculous things I have ever heard come out of a person's mouth. And so let's explore that topic a little bit further with this video. The worst kind of stupid person. Video by Kamal. Alright, let's
Terrence Howard is the worst kind of stupid person. Oh, a stupid person that has convinced himself that they're not only smart, but a genius. The greatest black dude. 17. I've never in my life seen someone spout out so much easily fact-checkable and for as long as he has, with as much confidence as he can.
Right.
So if you can prove that an action times an action equals a reaction, which science proves, and 1 times 1 must equal more than 1.
Because I'm sure you've seen a lot of...
One is not an action. What the fuck? Yeah, bro, I remember when this was all starting to go viral initially, I thought I was losing my fucking mind. Initially, there was this video that was going around. Let me see if I can find it, man. Yeah, here it is. Terrence Howard. This is the best kept secret in the entire world. Oh, this video has 5.4 million views. I remember when it was first going viral. The comment section now is filled with people clowning it because so many people in some videos talking about how ridiculous it was. Well, bro, I'm telling you, the video, the comments were like just filled with people saying, "No, this man is a genius," or saying 1 time 1 equals 3. When I was like, you know what? Let me just this has to sort of sometimes.
Recently with the Joe Rogan interviews going as viral as they have, but Terrence Tesseract Howard has been pretending to be the god of math and science for about a decade.
Died will get stronger at 2003 Celsius. So if we put in built-in with boron, and we're creating these chips that will speed up the computer.
How is this for Rihanna video? That is incredible. spent the last month or so researching why he chooses to be like this, and I found that his story is a lot darker than I could have imagined. So, let's get started.
I was able to open up smaller by smaller.
Not only is Terrence Howard that guy that says on TV, but he is also a self-proclaimed mathematician, physicist, and overall science god. A science god so powerful that he is single-handedly reinvented in all things math, physics, and geometry, but also has the ability to create planets out of nothing but numerical sentences and words. The point of teleology is the fact that 1 × 1 = 2, because in Terry's own words,
how is it that multiplication, that it means to make more, increase the number? How is 1 × 1 = 1 part of the
Bro, like the fact that he went around saying this stuff, that's it. The fact that he was trying to make the foundation of his bullshit something that is so an element and base. 1 × 1 is saying the number 1 How many times does it occur? Once. The number that you get when you have the number one, it's one. This is something that you like understand in middle school, elementary school. How is a grown man trying to like something?
I don't know where you got that from. That's not the definition of multiplication at all. Like, it sounds good because you're rambling and you're probably half-assed listening, but if you think about what you said for 2 seconds, you'll remember that negative numbers exist, decimals exist, those things that make numbers smaller. And if you still think I'm heading on military, look at the paper he wrote for his thesis, and you'll see in 2 seconds that it's exactly traced. First and foremost, let's ask the most obvious question. Is this a finished equation? Yes. The answer is no. Let's start our forensic audit there. It's an incomplete equation.
This is not how smart people are, bro. If you've ever read anything that like an intellectual has written, the use of exclamation, this exclamation sign is like, it is not, there's nothing analytical about it. There's nothing mathematical about it. This is not how a mathematician writes. You know what I'm saying? If you're reading a mathematician trying to explain mathematical concepts, they would never in a fucking million years.
Does your internet bill keep getting higher? That's because typical internet bills are full of surprises. At Google Fiber, there's no install fees, no equipment fees, no nonsense. It's the same price every month. Visit fiber.google.com to get the same monthly price we've offered since 2012.
Regardless, it's AI. A professional like you can be a full-blown production house with all the leading AI models in one place. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the game. We'll show everyone how to all of these tools actually go. And now, the terrifying, deadly still got an ace. Something that moves. Something that matters. Leave the slot behind. When all is done, light up and start bringing it without limits.
You use an exclamation mark. They would just like state what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? This. You read this, you're like, this guy, he's a fucking. What is this even?
Let's start our forensic audit there. It's an incomplete equation. Why? Because it's not even on both sides. It is though. It 100% is though. Yes, nature desires action but demands equilibrium. See, that's one of those things that if you're like a little buzz and you're half-assed listening, that sounds smart. Nature moves. Equilibrium, that sounds like some science. But if you think about it for 2 seconds, like honestly, what does that mean? Nature desires movement. Wrongs for nature.
He just doesn't know how multiplication works. That's what if you don't understand what the little X means, the X symbol in mathematics, in basic algebra, he doesn't understand what it means clearly.
Like, they don't move. And also, we are talking about math. Why are you talking about rivers and seas?
Right.
They are not the same. Therefore, in order for an equation to be finished / complete, both sides of the equation must be equally balanced. Yet in the case of 1 times 1, we have an unfinished equation. I promise you, because we have 2 1s on one side of the equation and 1 1 on the other side of the equation. That's the logic for why every single person who's ever done math is wrong and you're right.
Yeah.
We have. That's just how math works, dumbass. You know what the saddest part of this is? I've had 3 people in my family tell me that Terrence Howard is a genius. 3! And those are just the 3 that I talk to. Who knows how many more think is more smart? You know, on one side and one on the other. You should go to prison for just saying that out loud. Alright, shut up now. Now, as I've been making this video, this man Terrence Howard has the nerve to have another appearance on Joe Rogan's show. This time with Matt.
Now, here's the thing. There's a part of me that believes Joe Rogan was like buying this shit. Not to try to bully, okay? Not to try to spark this guy. All right, let's see.
Eric Weinstein, and tell me why when Eric confronts him on his one-time-one bullshit, little Terry comes out and says it was a metaphor the entire time.
When I say 1 times 1 equals 6, that's a metaphor for challenging the status quo.
This is your guy, a metaphor, one that he's written papers about, has talked about all over the world, and has never referred to as a metaphor. But now that he has this mathematician challenging him on this nonsense, all of a sudden, he was just being artistic. Jam. And we've got Joe Rogan over here with the biggest adult audience in the world, looking at Terry like he's Dr. Manhattan, like, wow, Daddy Science, please tell me more. You're so smart.
Your explanation of these things and your description of the very nature of reality itself is not something that should be taken lightly.
No, what is it? Fucking idiot. That's so stupid. How is it that the dumbest people have the most power in this world? This is how you know. I was just having this conversation with my father recently, right? We were talking about supplements that can increase your energy and things of that nature, you know, I'm into shit like that. And he was like, my dad, he's a very natural kind of guy, doesn't believe in any kind of supplementation, any kind of medication, any stuff like that, right? Really amazing fucking this guy. And I'm talking to him and I'm like telling him about it, and he's like, what is it gonna make him smarter? And I was like, he's like, yeah, but these things that you're talking about, they're gonna make him smarter. You know, he has a PhD, he's amazing shit like that. And so I'm like, well, why does that matter? He's like, being smarter always helps. And I was like, no, he doesn't. That's not true. In fact, I think actually being too smart is what holds a lot of people back. I think there is like, obviously being stupid hurts you a lot, but there is a point of diminishing return with intelligence, and then once you get past a certain point, it actually probably hurts you more than it helps you, right? At that point. And what was my evidence? I was like, just look at all the fucking rich people. There's so many people.
Mental domination! Priceless! Gone, and already forgotten.
Never ever sue the driver who crashed into you after a car accident. There's a better way to get compensated that's faster, easier, and could get you way more money without spending years in court and paying expensive lawyers up front. If you've been in a car accident within the past year, even if you were just a passenger, what I'm about to share could save you months of hassle and put tens or even hundreds of thousands more in your pocket. Here's what most people do. They either accept whatever small check insurance sends them, or they hire a lawyer up front and prepare for a long, expensive legal battle. Both options leave you frustrated and underpaid. But some accident victims are discovering a complete
Some uninvited guests.
of suing anyone stepping into a courtroom. It's called the 2025 Crash Connect Compensation Program, and it was created specifically to help accident victims get maximum compensation without the nightmare of lawsuits, upfront legal fees, or insurance company penalties. They're currently looking for 10 more car accident victims to try the program at no cost and receive their full compensation quickly. Check in seconds if you qualify for the program by clicking the link on the video and find out if you can be owed bigger checks. Take Garrett's experience. Everyone told him suing was his only option to get real money. His lawyer quoted him $8,000 up front and warned the case would take at least a year, maybe longer. Derek decided to check if he qualified for the Crash Connect program. He received $130,000 in 42 days without suing anyone. Fees up front. Here's how it works. Click the link on this video to access the qualification. You'll answer 4 basic multiple choice questions about what happened. No legal terminology, nothing complicated. It takes roughly 30 seconds and checking is 100% free. Once you qualify, an accident specialist contacts you directly. You walk them through your accident details, then they take over completely. No lawsuits, no court appearances, no dealing with insurance back and forth. Your settlement check could arrive in 30 days or less. And here's what makes this risk-free. You pay absolutely nothing unless you actually get compensated. Nobody can reverse what happened to you, but this program makes certain you receive every dollar you're owed for medical expenses, missed work, vehicle repairs, and everything else without putting your life on hold for a lawsuit. What would $80,000, $120,000, or even $150,000 do for you? Clear out those medical bills that keep growing. Get a reliable vehicle again. Stop living with constant financial anxiety and actually start recovering. That money is yours for the claim. Here's the reality about lawsuits. They sound like the right thing to do, but they're usually just the most painful way to get compensated. While you're stuck in court proceedings for months, dealing with continuances and legal fees, other people are already spending their settlement money and moving forward. And here's what insurance companies won't tell you. They actually want you to sue because it drags everything out and costs you money. The longer the process takes, the more likely you are to give up or accept less just to make it stop. Are you eligible for this? If your accident happened anytime within the last 12 months and wasn't your fault, there's a strong chance you could qualify for major compensation. But these claims come with deadlines. Miss your window and that money disappears permanently? Click the link around this video, answer 4 quick questions, and discover if you could be owed a way bigger check. It's fast, it's free, and remember, you don't pay anything unless you win. But act now, because if you wait too long, you might be walking away from life-changing money.
Did you even train for this?
That are dumb, that are wealthy and successful, just look at streaming. But then you have dudes with master's degrees and PhDs, and they literally are living paycheck to paycheck and barely make ends meet. This is stay here, okay? But still, you would hope, though, that the people who do get to the heights of power and influence, at least most of them would be intelligent, reasonable people, but apparently not. Apparently that's just how this works.
Isn't Joe Rogan the guy who reads scientist books before they come on his podcast? You could have looked up anything on Terran Tower. There's so much out there. And you should have realized that he is a dumbass. But I apologize, I'm getting ahead of myself because Daddy Science has even more to teach us, because according to him, the only reason we have this janky-ass math that's responsible for all human innovation is because of the Anunnaki sky. He wars his thesis. These are the things that
more fucking mythical bullshit. This is the source of many of our problems in the society. It's just too many people believe in fairy tales, bro.
Sending to people like Neil deGrasse Tyson, expecting them to take it seriously. This man is saying that we have fake math because of the sky. Okay. Some call them the Anunnaki. The sky. Whoever they were, they gave that naive generation some 6,000 years ago a multiplication table and a flat view of the universal geometry. They gave that poor misguided people a false axiom upon which to...
man, then how do planes work? Why do rockets work? Not fall over. They're all the people working on that shit, they're all using this math, bro.
A false axiom that would behave almost as a buffer for an infantile-like species.
Right.
I can hear a Spanish in the comments now. Okay, come on. Well, maybe the math isn't right, but what about the shapes? Terrence Howard invented shapes. Dumbass. So like I said earlier, Terrence has convinced himself that he has invented a new shape. And according to this Rolling Stone article, he spends 17 hours a day putting these little plastic models together so he can use them to save the world.
Now he has invented a new form of flight that I would like to bring here to Uganda.
Oh God. This is where these people go. They always go to Africa. Whenever these people want to run a scam, they go to Africa.
Drones, to replace the helicopters, to replace the planes. We already have all the funding necessary.
No, you don't.
What we need is just a fertile ground in which to build.
Then why not America? Why do you gotta go to Africa? Why not just do it where you already live, where you probably have better resources available? Why would you do that?
It's the geometry of hydrogen.
The geometry of hydrogen.
hydrogen. This is the proton itself. So any bond...
Proton itself? Wait, are we talking about the atom, hydrogen, or are we now talking about protons? This is what scammers... I use too many words, bro. It makes me suspicious.
That hydrogen can make. Our linchpins are able to make. So we're talking about unlimited bonding.
Look at that, unlimited bonding. Unlimited bonding. That was the problem with modern aeroscience, right? That was the problem with modern rocket science. It was the limited bonding. Darren Howard has uncovered how we can exploit unlimited bonding. Okay, now I'm listening.
Unlimited predictable structures, supersymmetry, and linchpins are now able to be explored as a colony.
I don't like that. If I was in this crowd, I was like, you're using too many words. I'm more of a visual guy. Show me the fine fucking bullshit you're talking about. You don't gotta use any words to show me the thing. Show me the thing that you're talking about. That's what it is, man.
That can defend the nation.
This man just called the entire country of Uganda with this straight face that he has created alien technology drones that can combine with each other like Voltron and will single-handedly send their country into the future like it's vibranium in Wakanda.
Wow.
Jay, this is what happens when we have a culture that worships celebrity. Just because you can pretend to be other people or sing and dance does not mean you are a scientist.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean you aren't a scientist or can't be a scientist, but it definitely does not mean you are.
This is where I'm at in my life. I don't trust anybody that claims to be an expert at a thing who doesn't have a high level of university certification, right? Master is the minimum, like a PhD for me to really be an expert. Why is that? Because if you are truly an expert despite not having the accreditation, you would just go and get the accreditation because you already know all this shit. You would be able to do it in your sleep, you know? Fucking barely study, right? Just knock out, because you already know all this shit. You went and learned it by yourself, right? That's what you did. And so, why not just go and fucking do it, right? These people, these scammers, they know what we're talking about.
If anything, it means you're probably not. And for the record, this is the ultimate power that little Terry is talking about.
Mind crush.
What is this?
Supersymmetry.
Okay, so it's a drone he was talking about.
Supersymmetry.
But luckily for all of us, Terrence's science genius doesn't just stop. Because we're all about to witness how Terrence Howard creates life.
Alright, let's see.
And we rebuilt planet Saturn without breath broken.
I didn't realize it was broken.
Look who's here. Mind is mine.
Like what? It's Saturn. You know Saturn is bigger than Earth. Okay, alright, let's hear it.
Gone.
And the ring and the hexagon that's observed at the very top, without dark matter, without dark energy, without death, showing
Did I break you?
outward force pushing down the
You see how inward things it's like four sentences. Dark gravity, outwards, inwards, the hexagonal. It's like you're selling me something, guy. I'm not buying it.
Internal fission reactions, nuclear and planet with mega fields from iron cores, etc.
Oh yeah, this is again just something Terry paid someone to make it an animation software. I know earlier he said that this is the same software Princeton uses.
We use the same simulator that they use at Princeton.
That's a lie. He must be talking about like their filmmaking department or something. Because this is Blender. It's just an animation software.
Yeah.
Everything on screen right now also made in Blender. And also, not real. You can't make the claim that every single person on this planet is doing math and science wrong if you're proving too shitty animated. And of course, we can't forget about Walter Russell and the University of Science and Philosophy, since those were such huge influences on Terence's scientific mind.
All right. So I got in touch with the University of Science and Philosophy after watching some stuff about Walter Russell.
I'm going to play a video from their own website, and you tell me if you think these are the greatest innovators of our generation, or a bunch of sad losers that got tricked into being part of a fake science club.
You know, that's such a supreme outlook.
Your mind is mine. Mental domination. Just another broken mind crush. Ah, look who's here.
Double KO.
Google Fiber is now officially G5 from the internet provider that stands out. Now, even our name is faster. G-Fiber. New name, same team. And same extraordinary experience.
Double KO.
Check your address at fiber.google.com.
That's 3.
Mental domination.
No.
Mental
A
domination.
fake science.
We know.
Bro, what is this? Why is there hair being blown? Like, there are always signs. There are always signs that something isn't right. Why is their hair being blown over like this? Why didn't they do another take? They're not paying attention. This is already a mess. Why is his face so close to the camera? They shot this on a Samsung smart
Start a heart and soul.
This, only white people can get it. Only white people do this, and there will be anybody who falls for it because of white supremacy, the glorification of white people. This woman has a gold tooth. In no universe would anybody ever take the black equivalent of this woman seriously. She has a neck tat and a gold tooth. Okay, listen, imagine if this was a black woman now with her neck tattoo and a gold tooth, and she was wearing beach attire in front of what appears to be a Caribbean, possibly like a hotel in St. Lucia type shit. This is what I'm getting. That's the vibe I'm getting here. This is a promo video for a University of Science and Philosophy, right? What are we doing here?
What are we talking about?
He's like true currency. He's like, what is he even wearing? What is this? They're all in Puerto Rico. It's obvious. They're in Puerto Rico, ducking taxes, where all the upper scammers go.
Is this nigga serious? See? The University of Philosophy and Science? That sounds so smart. And then you go on the website and you're like, oh, this is where the sad people go.
Yeah, listen, it's just like, what was that woman's name? Cheyenne Bryant. Why don't they go to a real university? Okay, so you actually do want to be affiliated with some kind of academic institution. Why not just go to your local university? Just go to a real university. Why is it that they always find these fucking bullshit like they're grifters, they're frauds?
University of Science and Philosophy is not a real college or university. It's just where the little remaining self-respect goes to die. So, yeah, Terrence is not a science genius, but he might just be a pathological and like a really bad one. According to Terrence, he would have got his bachelor's at Pratt University, but 2 years in, he quit because he got into an argument with his teacher about, sure you know, wow, yeah, 1 times 1 equaling 2. At least it's consistent. Consistently stupid, but consistent. Terrence also said he got his PhD in chemical engineering from North Carolina University.
What school did you go to? Well, I went to South Carolina State University and got my doctorate in applied materials and chemical engineering.
Listen what he said. Listen what he said. They gave you universities are just going to give you a doctorate, right? You would say I earned my doctorate. You would say something approximating to that. You wouldn't say they gave me my doctorate.
that is that they don't offer a graduate program for chemical engineering. So again, there's a slow thing in the back.
So why would he go on a late night talk show that is so popular and just blatantly lie about something so easily bad?
That was lying. Honestly, I don't think he went to Brad either. I can't prove it, but I just... And again, this is a terrible lie, because how are you going to claim to have your doctorate when you admit that you don't even have your bachelor's? Another fun lie parents like to tell is the story about how when he was a teenager he was diagnosed with Bell's palsy, which totally paralyzed the right side of his face. And according to him, doctors said that he had a 5% chance of...
This is another thing. I was involved. Months ago, I came across this woman and she was telling me stories. She's just one of those people who tries to garner affection, some kind of weird affection or sympathy from strangers by just talking about how hard their life has been and how it's completely out of their control. They don't deserve it. Bad things just keep happening to them.
Does your internet bill keep getting higher? That's because typical internet deals are full of surprises. At Google Fiber, there's no install fees, no equipment fees, no nonsense. It's the same price every month. Visit fiber.google.com to get the same monthly price and offers since 2012.
Hey, you want to know this Mint Mobile now? I don't know if you've heard, but Mint Premium Wireless is $15. I'd like to offer one other thing. We have, I think, watch a big game. I haven't watched anything in 7 years because I'm just sign up online to mintmobile.com. It is an introduction to reading.
And so she's telling me these things, and she like feels off like insane fear diseases that she's had while she's just like walking around. Oh, also, she like has 6 degrees. You see these people, they're the same, right? They have all these weird illnesses, and they also are incredibly educated. But she's holding clothes and
big normal again. So of course, parents did what any anime protagonist would do. He started electrocuting himself in the face. He says he cut the wires out of his dad's electric razor, attached it to a fuse box in the basement, and started jamming the loose wires into his face. I did that every day for 5 months, and then I felt the slightest little twitch inside. But my personal favorite lie is when Terrence told Joe Rogan with his straight face that he remembers his own birth, circumcision, and asked him conscious that he was 6 months old in the womb.
My person was almost like you were dreaming and you was falling, and you hit the bottom, you wake up. That was my first memory, but I didn't wake up here. I was inside my mother's belly. You're like, oh, that's my friend. That's different name. I didn't know it was my friend. But I knew it. And tied up his house with
it's you wouldn't be able to see it. That's just how that works.
Again, this should go without saying, but that's physically impossible. Right. The human brain isn't even close to being developed enough to start gaining memories with that. So, he's just lying. And he does this all the time, like saying that this shape proves that the square root of 2 is 1.
This is the proof that the square root of 2 is a rational number.
It doesn't. Or his proof that he's a science genius and everybody else is wrong is that he has a bunch of patents.
If you're right, so many people are wrong. Everyone's wrong. Lord, but the universe backs me up. And I have the proof of it.
You know what? Oh my God, I just realized why he thinks the square root of 2 is 1. Because he believes 1 times 1 equals 2, so 1 squared must equals 2, therefore 2, the square root of 2 must be 1. This guy, he reproduced. His genes are out in the population. This is concerning.
You have all these physicists that saying something different, but none of them have 97 patents.
The patent to using a washer for an earring, that's what's proving that all physicists don't know what they're talking about. He doesn't realize that anybody can get a patent, right? And that this doesn't mean anything. Does he know that? Or is he just hoping Joe does it?
How many of these patents have actually turned into things that are profitable? That's the thing that matters.
The question I need answers. Yes. This man is so smart, but find me one person on this planet that has ever benefited from any of his inventions. Okay, because Terry has been talking that dumb shit for like 10 years now. So where are all these people who are living in paradise because of Terryology? We're all alive right now because scientists, engineers, everyone who makes realizes that 1 times 1 will always equal 1. If they listen to Terrence's dumbass, we would all be dead. And for the record, if someone invented something and it's their nameology, it's not real. But come on, what about his VR pack? It would have made him $7 trillion.
That's also another sign of a huckster or scammer. If they use their name and they put things like ology on the end, right? Or ism, right? Always be wary of people who do that. They're scammers.
Those lawyers weren't there to shake it down. All VR technology is based off of Terrence Howard genius. No. Here is what actually happened. It is true that Terrence Howard applied for a patent.
Annity. Right? Somebody's name was Annity on it. It's also a scam.
And that was related to VR and AR. But he abandoned it before it could go through the entire process. Patents need to be looked over and audited by professionals. This is a process that can take years and years. Terrence's patent got approved for nothing.
If you look at the patent, these companies have all earned, they have multi-billion-dollar companies they built off of my patent. Just
Sony, Microsoft, Amazon,
Hewlett Packard.
Yeah.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. IBM, and it's still making money. This patent has earned over $7 trillion.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
This is your plumber. So is this. When it runs, you can shower, wash your dishes, and, well, but when it breaks,
all of that was just wrong. Just because a company cites your patent application, it doesn't mean they took anything from your application. It doesn't even mean that they agree with anything that's in your application. The only thing that those sightings actually mean is that those companies looked at Terrence Howard's patent application. That's it. So when it comes to Terrence Howard acting like all VR technology stems from his genius patent, he's either lying or has no idea what he's talking about. Which was basically that entire 3-hour podcast. And $7 trillion, honestly, I don't know how he came up with that number. I'm assuming he just took the value of all the
companies. He took that's exactly what it is.
List and added them together, but hopefully I don't have to explain how stupid and arrogant it is to try to take credit for the entire success of a company just because they looked at your patent application. Especially when those companies have been successful decades before Terrence even knew what a patent was. And that even...
And where is your money? Where is your cut? Where is your commission? Isn't that how that works? Wouldn't you get some money? Why are you not at least a billionaire?
If the patent went through, there is zero evidence that these companies would owe him $1.
I hate so much about the things that you choose to do.
People like Terry here have always fascinated me. Like how you have the balls to go on the biggest podcast in the world and just spew very fact-checkable bullshit for 3 hours straight is insane to me. And like I said, this man has just been pretending to be a scientist for a decade.
It's insane.
So I'm sitting here thinking, right, like what compels somebody to constantly make a fool of themselves over and over and over again? You know what I mean? Because it's not like Terrence Howard is just that guy who's too old to be working at Arby's. He's a nominated actor, but every day he makes the conscious decision to take the L. I just don't get it. So I came up with a theory. And for the record, I have no books, I have no data, I'm just a guy shooting from the hip, okay? Me and you were just two old broads talking shit. So here's my theory. Terrence Howard played Brody in Iron Man 1 and was actually the highest paid actor on the entire set.
See, I told you.
6 times more money than Robert Downey Jr.
I told you, right? He was like the guy. He was the guy.
But rumor has it Jon Favreau, the director of Iron Man 1, hated Terrence's performance. He apparently hated it so much he had to cut around it when he was.
It was pretty bad. I was watching this one clip and I was like, this feels weird.
Editing. So when it was time to shoot Iron Man 2, instead of giving Terrence the $8 million he was supposed to get in his contract, Marvel decided to cut Brody's role significantly and only offered Terrence a measly $1 million.
Still so much money. Your opportunity to like really try and win shit over again, but of course it's these people, man. They just can't. They just can't get it together.
Frank and his team declined. Next thing we know, Don Cheadle is war. Now missing out on one acting opportunity doesn't sound like the biggest deal.
Don Cheadle and Iron Man, bro. How much money is Don Cheadle getting for the Iron Man series? Let's look at that. Between $30 and $40 million. But this guy is such an insufferable, narcissistic idiot that he just squandered that. And then you also have to think of all the other acting opportunities that came out of in the Marvel series as a actor or recurring character. What are you doing, this guy?
Well, especially when you're already famous. So Don Cheadle made about $50 million from that war mission, let alone all the other opportunities. But for Terrence, on the other hand, did it repeat
50, 30, 40, 50. I mean, at the end of the day, it's supposed to
playing kind of blacklisted in Hollywood. It was rumored that Terrence was super difficult on set, and when one of the hottest directors in Hollywood is saying he did a shitty job, now it's not a good look. And after everything went down, it's also rumored that Terrence's acting fee went from $3 to $4 million to $40,000. Period. Instead of Terrence Howard accepting his loss and taking accountability for his behavior, this man said, if I can't be Iron Man on the screen, I'm going to be Iron Man in real life. He has been trying to convince himself and the world that he is a science god that got all of his alien knowledge from portals. Tell me this is just an obnoxious egomaniac who can't take accountability.
Right, yeah.
Tell me that's not what this is. Tell me, you know that's a genius theory. I have nothing to back it up.
It's not even genius, it's clearly what happened.
Tell me I'm wrong.
He lost his fucking mind, bro. He lost he destroyed his career. He thought he was even bigger than the program. He thought he was hot shit. He wasn't even that good acting. And then, because, right, he saw it all slip away and he lost his mind.
If somebody, I really can't find the flat.
See, when you combine a lot of opportunity like that with the childhood,
like even just what's going on with your brains, man? Why is this? This is more scalp than it is brains. Why would you do this?
In 1971, he was only 2 years old. He went to go see Santa Claus with his dad, his pregnant mom, and his 3 other siblings. At some point, the Howard family succeeds in cutting by some other people of mine, and a fight breaks out between Tyler Howard, Terrence's dad, and a man named Jack Fitzpatrick. So apparently, taught people how to be priests with code. According to witnesses, Jack had Terrence's dad pinned against the wall and beat him in the groin, which caused Tyrone to take a sharp object out of his pocket and stab Jack in the leg and his neck, which eventually did kill him. Tyrone Smith fled the scene, taking his family to his mom's house before turning himself in a few hours. Now, according to my reality TV research, when you have parents that are badly crazy, you have 2 options. You can either use them as an example of what not to be or become exactly like them. Guess which route Terrence took? Yeah, that. See, Terrence has a very long history of being a violent psycho. Let's go through a brief rundown of his history so you can know what I'm talking about. In the year 2000, Terrence was arrested for assaulting a flight attendant who had asked him to sit back in the seat.
I just got $62,000 for my car accident.
using nothing but this app for my phone.
If you've never heard of free case evals, it's quickly becoming one of the largest legal help platforms in the country for car crash victims. They've built this tool that's already helped over 140,000 people get life-changing settlement checks, all from just answering questions. Here's how it works. The app asks 4 simple questions about your accident. Then it compares your case to millions of others. In seconds, it tells you whether you qualify for a big cash payout. I first found out about this from a guy named Raymond about 3 years ago. Raymond got hit hard in a bad crash. He lost his car, was dealing with serious pain, and the insurance company refused to pay him anything fair. So he posted a video that went viral, sharing how he used this exact tool and got a $125,000 payout in just a few months. Then it happened. I was stopped at a red light and some distracted driver slammed in the back of the car. I messed up my back, my car was totaled, and worst of all, I lost my job because I had no way to get it running. Luckily, I remembered Raymond's video. I clicked the same link to answered the 4 questions, and boom, it said I qualified. Fast forward to 60 days, I had this checkpoint. It helped me replace my income, pay off debt, and get a new drive. Then I shared this tool on my own social media, and my friend Jasmine, she ended up getting $147,000. I also told my buddy Eli, who had been in a wreck with me before. He was skeptical, but gave it a shot and got $178,000. What I love most is how beginner-friendly it is. You don't need to know anything about the law. Just click the link, answer 4 questions, you get connected to a free case eval specialist who handles everything. No fees up front, no court dates, no stress. A few years ago, I had no idea what to do about this car. I probably would have just hired some random attorney to hope for the best. And we all know how that usually goes. But now I know better. I'm glad I saw Raymond's video. Jasmine is terrible with tech, and even he ended up getting switched to exam. Eli, he was offered just $6,000 by insurance, but ended up walking away with $178,000. That's $172,000 more without ever talking to an insurance company. So yeah, this is for anyone who's been injured in a car accident. Just click the link below, answer 4 quick questions, see if your case qualifies for a case of settlement. Just like I did. If you qualify, a free case eval handles everything for you. You don't pay a dime from those people. Thousands of people, like me, Raymond, Jasmine, and Eli, have already used this and gotten huge payouts. Imagine that moment when you check your account and tens of thousands get it out. That's the power of this. So don't wait. Click the link, answer 4 questions, see how much your accident will be worth. Please, share this with your friends and family. They deserve to get paid what they're owed. Free case eval. Click the link below and find out what your car accident is worth. In 30 seconds or less.
I needed that. This is gonna hurt.
What a bitch. Less than a year after that, Terrence was arrested for allegedly breaking down his wife's door, dragging her to the backyard and punching her in the face twice. A little while after that, he started punching a woman in the face at a restaurant. Not his wife this time, don't worry, just a random one.
Chances, so many chances. Right? Isn't it insane that even after all of that, he still went on to have a relatively successful acting career, even the highest paid actor in Ireland? Isn't that insane? And so that was the end. That was the finish line. That's when the universe had to be like, it is time for you to pay for your fucking bullshit.
Oh, what could make a famous actor punch a random
a lot of
The right heroes could make all the difference. I'm here to finish
the woman in the face in the middle of a restaurant? Well, Terrence thought that she got sacked before him, so she kind of had that one coming. In 2010, less than 7 days after marrying his second wife, she accused Terrence of trying to throw her off of a balcony, and again, punching her in the face. In 2012, his girlfriend May Yang accused him of attacking her in his house and even filed a civil suit against him.
The crazy part is these guys who are always putting their hands on their women never get into a fight with a guy. Right? If you were just this like wild, just angry, violent person, you would think he would at least have a few instances where he was getting into altercations with men, but no, it's always just the women.
2013, Terrence was accused of strangling his ex-wife in Costa Rica and again punching her in the face.
Being accused of domestic violence, all of those things, and I thought it was a curse method. Really? From advancing down the wrong path.
Yeah, not the greatest.
The ultimate hope when you destroy yourself and destroy your career. Right? Oh, God, you're just trying to open my eyes to the truth. You know, but you really just shit. Yeah, man. Yeah. Fucking just go to school. Go to school. And always be skeptical whenever you're coming to a conclusion that most other people are not. Especially most other people who are actually experts in that field. The chances of you being right and everybody else being wrong is very, very, very low. Chances of you being right and all the other experts being wrong practically. Well, it happens every once in a while, but you know, it's usually by another expert in that field, somebody who's already proven themselves in that field. The point is, Terrence Howard is a fucking idiot. Go to school, and if you want to be considered an expert in something, alright, well that's the video. Y'all let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and let's do this.
We're back in action. Better stop that vehicle.
A little help, please. You know what to do, spiders? Much better. Time for some fireworks.
Amazon offers hourly employees Tokyo on day one for the whole 50.
Time for some fireworks. Wow, that's better. Powering up. We're better when we work together. Mine's in place.
So now the Cyclops has been the first to see in game, not necessarily as a playable character, but in the new Alphanex Doom match, you're actually able to go up to Cyclops and see him. He's being held captive right now, according to the lore, in some kind of tank. That's he's foreshadowing himself. Think so. You know, he's being held captive in this tank, doing a lot of experiments on him, but you're actually able to go up to his model and see him in the game. And people have actually pulled his model out in the game with Blender, and they've been doing a lot of different comparisons, going back and forth in regards to what role they think he might be. And there's some people that are saying that there's still some hope that he could potentially be a Vanguard, not to say that he probably won't end up being a DPS or that he could be a support. But some people seem to be leaning more into Vanguard. But I do think it's really interesting, so let's talk about it.
This is gonna hurt.
YouTube was on that. It's probably dark. Here on a beautiful Monday morning. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Having a great start to your week. If not, sorry to hear that. Let's go ahead and get into the video. So like I said, people of mine actually sent me a link to a Twitter post where people were taking like side comparison charts, comparing Cyclops in-game model to all the other characters in the game. There's people who are saying, oh, there's still going to be post that, you know, he's going to be a Vanguard, you know, and this isn't the only post that I saw, and actually shortly after that I saw a post on Reddit where people were saying the same thing, and they were all leaning in the Vanguard category. Now, the thing is that just have to clearly warn people, we don't know what these characters are going to be. I do this pretty often with most characters that are coming out, especially because one of the more fun things about this game is not knowing what certain characters are going to be. We'll know that a character is coming out, for example. They'll let us know ahead of time, but they don't actually say what role that character is going to be. So, you know, that's something you do here on the channel. They'll take characters and look at them from comic book perspective. We'll look at the history of certain characters in the game, and we'll talk about the fact that Eddie really has a way to kind of alter or change a lot of characters, especially newer characters to the game, to kind of fit the fact that not everybody can get DPS. So many characters in the Marvel Universe would be DPS if they stuck true to their comic book origin. That wouldn't really be fun for people to play the game, and if every single comic character released, they were predominantly just DPS with just a little sprinkle of support, a little sprinkle of tank here. But like I said, though, looking at this post, I did think it was interesting because a lot of people are sitting here comparing the size. Now, the thing is that Cyclops' model apparently is 6'2". Also, too, I'm going to add, I don't know exactly how it is. Right? But you guys want to know in the comments if you know. Maybe on the Marvel website, there's some official, like, height ranking. Maybe they're just using, like, they have, like, a starting height or something for one character, and they've altered that based off of what the other characters' heights are in comparison. Maybe it's in the Heroes tab in their bio somewhere. I don't know. Personally, I couldn't find that myself, but if you guys do know where that is, please feel free to let me know in the comments. But his height apparently is 6'2". And the thing that's interesting is that there are multiple tanks that are 6'2". Now, the tallest tank that we have, put this picture up here for you guys, you can see, is 8'10", which is and the shortest tank that we have, technically Penny is the shortest if you count Penny herself, but Penny is not the tank. She's not even in the actual game. She's using like some type of psionic link, I believe, to be able to communicate with her mech. So yeah, we're just hearing her like through a microphone. It's not like she's actually inside the mech or anything like that. But people are counting her. But like, you know, her and Banner, I think Banner is 5'7", Penny is 4'9". But the actual just tank that's actually in the game that we play as, the shortest one is also 6'2", which is Rogue. And actually there's 3 6'2" tanks, which is Deadpool, Emma, and Rogue. Now the thing is that those are women. No offense or anything like that. It's not saying women can't do anything that men can do anything like that. It's just saying like women are usually shorter than men. And I think the only reason why Wade, Deadpool, is the same height as these women is simply because he's like an exception to the game. He's the the fourth wall breaker. He's the only character that we have so far who's in all 3 roles. And his height doesn't change based off of, or his size doesn't change based off of which one it is, whether he's heal pool, DPS pool, or tank pool. Now, the actual shortest male that we have is Magneto in regards to tanks. Magneto is 6'4". Now, it's not saying that technically because of his height he could not be a Vanguard. And it's the same thing with like the DPS as well. The tallest DPS that we have is Iron Man at 6'4". Now, Iron Man, I don't really like to count him simply because I would believe that that's not Tony Stark's actual height. That would just be Iron Man's height. I would believe that obviously because he's wearing a giant metal suit, that there's going to be a bit of a height discrepancy there. Because like, it's like if you're wearing shoes that have really thick soles or something, you're going to be taller than you would without those shoes. So it's not going to be which is 6'3", and then we have DPS pool, which is 6'2". You got like Blade, Namor, and then it goes down with like Hawkeye, like 6'1". I believe the shortest DPS that we have is Squirrel Girl. Once again, don't really like to consider the women because obviously there's always going to be a height difference with men and women for the most part outside of characters like Wolverine, which has just always been a shorter character. I believe he's only 5'7" in the game. But as far as men, though, I believe the shortest one that we have is Iron Fist at 5'9". But then this whole kind of like logic starts to go out of the window when you start to think about supports. Now, the thing is that the tallest support that we have is Ultron. He is 6'9". Ultron, once again, would really like to count Ultron because Ultron is a robot. So it's not the same as like human height versus you can make Ultron whatever height you want to. But we do have Gambit, which is actually an inch taller than Cyclops because Gambit is actually 6'3" in the game. And then next to that, in regards to men, we have Loki, which is also 6'3", and then right after that, we have Heal Pool, which is 6'2". And the sizes get crazy from there because we have everything from like Jeff and Rocket to all the other sports. So that's kind of my thing on that. When you have like a rule, or you're trying to make a rule of thumb, it kind of has to apply pretty much all across the board. Now, there can be like exceptions here and there. Like, for example, if you were to say like this is a height thing and then we were just comparing like Jeff and Rocket, but all the other like actual human characters were around a certain height or something like that, that would be different. But like I said, though, from looking at these height charts, you actually see that they overlap a lot. So like I said, you have someone like Gambit, who is a strategist, but he is foot taller and inch taller than Cyclops, and he's pretty much like an inch shorter than Magneto. So to me, that doesn't really pan out very well. That's not something that you can say like, oh, okay, well he's this height or whatever, or this size, so this has to be the case. But I would say that the tank role was kind of like the only exception, simply because of like hitboxes. So this is why a lot of the women in the game get kind of like what a lot of people like to call like the buff mommies or whatever you like to call it. They do get an increase. You look like Emma Frost, she got an increase in height, I would say. And I wouldn't necessarily say it's height. I don't know exactly how tall she is in the comics, but she definitely got an increase from her lower regions, like her thighs and stuff like that, purposely because she had to be. And this is even something that we were able to see if many of you saw like the art they did before they released them back, like whatever, like I guess the concept art. They were kind of sketching it out, trying to figure out how they could take Emma Frost, who is usually more of a petite character, and kind of buff her up a bit. Same thing with Rogue. Rogue clearly in this game is a lot more buff than she is in the comics or however she's portrayed in movies or TV shows or anything like that. And that's just one of the interesting things about this game is that you don't want to have a tank that has a very, very small hitbox. Now, do some tanks have smaller hitboxes than others? That I don't actually know because I don't know exactly how they do the hit.
Which hero do you
It's all
think
you need for just $15.99. That's unlimited value for $15.99.
now?
They say that fame and fortune are a fickle mission, and never more so in the modern era, where one wrong step is pretty much a landmine that'll turn your reputation into dust. As no matter how seamlessly you build up a profile and lure an audience towards you, it can only take a split second for everything to implode.
If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic. Okay.
Over the past decade, this cycle of rise and fall has returned, spurred by an online audience that's always baying for blood. But this year, it seems that even more people than usual have seen their prospects disintegrate. And for the most part, they've got no one to blame but themselves. And speaking of people who deserve everything that's coming their way, let's start with none other than Chud the Builder. If you're fortunate enough to not actually know who this guy is, let's put you in the picture. Over the past year, Chud, whose real name is Dalton Earthly, has made a name for himself as a deplorable human. Initially streaming on Kick, before even that infamously lawless platform had enough, Chud made a name for himself with racist content. That basically sums it up.
You want some shrooms or something? What do you want? I told you I'm on your mama's. Okay, you're literally all you do is talk about your dick. I'm sorry. Come back over here. Okay. Let's come back over here. Let's not fight. I ain't touch me again. Touch me again. I don't want to get pepper sprayed. I really don't. Go pick up my hat. You heard me. Touch me again. Touch me again. That's what I thought. Thank you. Come here, me with that shit. I ain't gonna pray you. That motherfucker wants to put his hands on me again. Go home and shit. Let's go get his ass. Hey, thanks for picking up my hat. Look at this. Get her. Get her.
Eventually resigned to broadcasting his message on Pump.Fun, Chud continued to verbally abuse basically any black person he came across, suggesting he'd happily commit murder just to clip fun.
We're in America, bro. They want to threaten your life, you take theirs. You put them on the ground, then you go live on Kick. You say, look at this dumb. You're laying dead on the ground.
Holy shit, bro.
Dude, that's how you go. Oh, that's how you go viral. You'll get double followers. You got. Yes.
I don't think that's spreading a great message.
Yeah, I don't want to have to kill them, but if they threaten your life, dude, you do it. You gotta stand up for your own. What do you back down and you say, oh no?
They're just kind of promoting the vision of the world, though, right? Like two wrongs don't make it right, you know?
No, because it teaches them. No, it goes back to not lying to them. It teaches them the truth that they have no power over you as a man simply because your skin is lighter.
And just when you thought he couldn't be any more boastful, he was caught being a creep and a thorough.
That's just following me. What's your name? Cameron? I was just talking to you to find a cute little blonde Twitter. You got a boyfriend? Oh, okay, dude. We're good, chat. Y'all saw that bitch. This child is 16. She was about 25. So you're on some acting thing, poor girl.
As he kept going on his profile, Chud rotated in sections of the internet that usually wouldn't even engage with streamers. In the end, his whole alpha persona was outed as fraudulent when a former lover revealed what Dalton was really into.
Oh, you can smoke mid and get raw dogs by the filters. Well, he's not lying. I already told y'all he's smoking.
WB, and we did work raw a lot. Me, him, and my ex-wife. I am a professional beggar. It is no secret that I suffer from prostate, if you will, for men. I've been doing it for a very long time now. Most of my clientele is white men. We've signed NDA agreements. I've talked about them taking all the time, but I never tell the name. So me talking about this on my brain is out. Let's post it, bro. So yeah, 3 bits with a big dick. I have not stalked him since like 2015. So weird that just teach you to. But I'm wondering if you bring that up, if you want to in the block. Yeah. When I first was very and I'm having a lunch, like probably have to and my wife. We can start small, buddy. I got you. But you don't have to fucking like if you're gonna say that say the whole truth. Okay?
What's the shock factor of simply saying handling raw Tug kept upping the stakes? And as people began to recognize him, some basically believed that it was on his side. If he started his chipping out record, and during one argument with Felicity, things went wild to the point where they got shooting. Once he was taken into custody, he was charged with attempted murder, aggravated assault, reckless endangerment of a weapon, and employing a firearm during a dangerous felony. Since then, it's been revealed that his bail has been set to $1.25 million. Instead of seeking to support him, the right-wing world hasn't been too eager to support him, with even right-wingers like Fuentes literally passing him to the side.
Praying that Chuck has at least 1 week on his jury and no survivors. Free Chuck.
I say send him to jail. I don't think what he did was defensive. But, like, yeah, at a certain point, if you're running around with a gun, antagonizing people, and then you shoot somebody, like, it's one thing if somebody attacks you for no reason and you shoot them. It's another thing if it's like, here I am with my live stream where I provoke confrontations. I hope I don't have to kill anybody today. And, like, I don't know.
And now that footage of his stream keeps resurfacing, it's probably not making him any better than a jury.
You know why? Agents lose listings? Because the market is unpredictable. But I've got insights from Zillow. So I don't just know the neighborhood, I know where it's going. That's how Zillow works for me.
Or a dagger.
You shouldn't be trying to steal this house.
Get out of my house.
No, you don't.
And that's when the water skated outside.
I had no idea that it was just me getting horrible story.
$1 home, but we never really know what's happening. People want to find something sit on the table, and you would have no right to ask them to do it. In 20 years, I've seen every dance in the book. I thought. As we were driving by, what is going on?
I realized that we really had a squatter.
I literally lost
Wow, 4 in a row.
calling the police.
If the laws can help you, if the police can help you, where are you supposed to turn? For what?
For being in my own home. The stories in this was really wild. It was worse than what we imagined. It's true evil.
This is my house.
We have these claims we have to have the SWAT team come out. I'm like, the SWAT team?
This is where the story takes a darker turn.
Some spotted today and was taking a selfie on the boat.
He's prompting us the entire time.
People out there with process taking.
You staying here? She was terrorizing us. She did it with a smile. I don't want to see this happen to any other family.
Be careful when you're sending to your lives into your home.
Out of our house.
Vehicle reached the checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Jerk. You gonna sneak up behind me like y'all like to do? Look at this chimping out. Look at this chimping out. That's the news team. Y'all know his name now. Isaiah Ware, pussy ass fuck. He talks a lot of shit on the newscast. Come over here and chimp out. Come here and chimp out. Come on over here and chimp out. We tried to have a civil conversation. Y'all saw the whole thing. Y'all saw the whole thing. You following me to my truck now? We got 18 rounds for you. We ain't got nothing else. Don't follow me in my truck. I bet you won't follow me in my truck. Come on. Look at him. Booga booga. Ooh-wah. Ooh-wah.
Because when you're claiming you have 18 people, it seems to contradict the argument that what he's doing is to ensure his survival.
I walked up to them because they were pointing at me. They were laughing and pointing at me. I said, "This truck guys, what are you doing?" I said, "Y'all like the new suit?" He said, "Walk away from me." I walked away from him. He came back up to me. He literally said, "I have PTSD. I feel like I'm gonna," he said, "You start saying all that pimp out shit to me, I'm gonna hit you." He hit me, started wailing on me, even after I had to defend myself like dude. He was still wailing on me.
This isn't just speculation, with legal experts arguing that the self-defense is weakened by the fact that there are previous incidents that followed.
I've gone back and spoken to one of the private builders' original victims that was in this video. This happened back in November. They say what happened in this video is exactly what police say they saw in the surveillance video at the shooting at the courthouse. Now, the victim in this video says that Charlie reached for his weapon, and that's what escalated everything. If you go back and watch that video, you can actually hear them say he's at fine. And that's when things really got intense. They thought that Chubb was going to pull his weapon and shoot them. And in this video, Chubb originally said that he was minding his business and that these men were harassing him. And that's the only reason why he started filming, and that's why he said the words that everyone is arguing about. Of course, we have seen things that Chubb's style doesn't catch his version of events for the story.
But the argument is further damaged by the fact that he escalated things to a higher level by using a weapon, as well as being the aggressor in the first place.
The amount of force he's supposed to use if he's being attacked has to be proportional, and you can't be the provocateur.
I'll go with the assumption if, let's say, somebody like runs up on you and was trying to fist fight you, you would have the legal right to, pull out your pistol.
No. You have a right to punch him in the face. Come chip over here. Why y'all acting like that? Act like animals. You're chipping out. Look at these chipping out.
And again, the question isn't, does the First Amendment allow you to say these words, or saying these words crime? The question for the jury is going to be, and it looks like my bleeps may not have worked, but at least 4 or 5 times in this clip he uses the N-word. Is the jury going to say, hey, listen, you can say the N-word if you want, but if you say it and it provokes a violent response, that's on you. You should have foreseen that was a likely probability.
As it all falls around him, leaked audio has revealed that he has been begging Aiden Ross for assistance.
There's an agent installed. Says you can get me out, help with the bond. I cannot access my funds until I get out of here because no one has access to any of my gifts and go or my crypto wallets, etc. I have to get out of here until I can get verification processes to get into all of these funds. I will fight for free. You can help me out, post bail. I will fight for free. You whatever it is I want to do. I need somebody with big money who can throw down and can support me.
And hilariously, Ross point blank refused to help him whatsoever.
Can you pay his bail? And that's good. Absolutely fucking hell.
Now facing 60 years in prison, convicted on all felony charges, Chud better hope he's got a good legal team, because clearly he's cooked otherwise. When it comes to recent follow-up, Chud is obviously at the end of the spectrum, considering he might be relocating to the penitentiary. But some fall-offs are a little more gradual and revolve around how the public perception of someone has eroded. In this category, there is no candidate quite like actress Sydney Sweeney. Although she's a fixation of many red-blooded males out there, the blonde bombshell has had some tough breaks as of late, and many of them are either the product of advice or poor judgment. This began for
Amazon, skills training and apprenticeships, getting hourly employees into higher paying roles.
Try the Alvarez.
What's up, guys? It is singer and songwriter Hanukkah Masi, and today I'm going to show you how I got Spotify and then decide. I used to think uploading your music onto streaming platforms was a huge, complicated process. It's actually a really simple process. DistroKid makes it easy to get your music on Spotify. All you got to do is go in there, upload your track, add the title, add the release date, and then bam, it gets uploaded, distributed, and that's what I love. It frees me up to focus on the creative side of things, like writing, recording, shooting videos. and look at some of my shows. For today's world, the power is in the artist's hands. If you want to be an artist, share your story, and your talent with the world, why not? It's easier now than ever with social media.
Sparked by the unveiling of an American Eagle Act. Centering on Sydney's great news.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits and characteristics, personality, and even outcomes.
No matter what the intention was, people made their own mind up about what good genes meant.
Miss Sweeney was in an American Eagle campaign. You reckon the blonde hair, blue eyes, not good. People are saying, how could no one have stopped them? People definitely think. Young people, I think people of colour would have flagged it, whether it been quietly to their friend at work after the meeting, going, oh, look, you don't be seen, and they would have been told, no, it's fine. They would have maybe told their boss, or told the person of marketing, or a company, or whatever. There would have been conversations about it. The issue is, no one listens to these people. This is when it comes down to structural issues, and where white supremacy as a whole comes in. Because people of colour in these workplaces would have been silent and dismissed and gaslit and told they were overreacting. Now, I'm not going to have it in this specific instance, but what I'm saying is, I know when I'm what they are photographing, I still get complicated. Unless the person of colour is in power, nothing has changed. And that's also why it's so important to have people of colour, people of marginalised groups, in power in these C-suites, the CEO, CFO, CMO, whatever.
Meanwhile, most of the act causes pain to the opposite end of the spectrum. Then you won when you're trying to calm down the controversy.
She's a registered Republican? Oh, now I love her ass. Is that right? It's 60-20. You'd be surprised at how many people are Republicans. That's what I wouldn't have known, but I'm glad you told me that. Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican. I think her ad is fantastic.
Within weeks, the internet was doing a whole bunch. And upon discovering that she was registered Republican, people pretty much lost their minds. Left facing an internet firing squad, Sydney claimed that she was actually taken aback by the response. I was honestly surprised by the reaction. I did it because I love the Jesus and love her. I don't support the views that some people chose to associate with the campaign. Many have assigned motives and labels to me that just aren't true. Anyone who doesn't see posts that are always present. Yet, I'm against hate and divisiveness. In the past, my stance has been to never respond to negative or positive press. So recently, I've come to realize that my silence regarding this issue has only widened from the bottom, not opened. So I hope this new year brings more focus on what connects us instead of what divides. Once again, this did little to soften the views of those who basically thought she was an acolyte for white supremacy. And when asked to disavow that world, she refused to completely back down.
The criticism of the content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
This predictably went down with the left, promoting other actresses to comment in ways that would suggest that they're disgusting. Sid, caught between being loved by the right and hated by the left, finds herself in a tough situation that public relations expert Mr. Borges believes has no simple solution. Right now, Sydney Sweeney feels overexposed and underloved. The issue isn't one bad campaign or rumors about hosts. The issue is that a chunk of her activities excitedly phenomenal, and she has done nothing to change her story. She went further by claiming that the way she's acted since looks defensive and disconnected, which is celebrity poison. People think she's entitled and trying way too hard. Sydney can't fix this with a statement. She needs a likability reset. She has to show humility, humor,